Hi friends, welcome back to another video in this at-home workout series. So this is going to be a 15-20 minute hip opening yoga flow. So I hope that you enjoy. We carry so much of our energy and our stress and the things that we kind of worry about and hold on to in our hips. So it'd be good to get those moving and mobile. So without further ado, take a spot on your mat. And let's get to it. So we're gonna actually start in a nice seated pose here. Can be either on your toes, kind of opening up underneath of our feet. We've got so much going on in the bottoms of our feet and we don't generally stretch them out. So we'll just kind of take our first few breaths here. Inhale your hands up and exhale them through your heart. One more time here. Exhale through your heart. And then inhale your hands up again. Bring them towards your lower back. We're going to come up onto our knees and just find that nice lift from our lower back, opening through our hearts. Be compassionate with yourself. Here, it's a big opening in front of our chest. If it's accessible, you can reach back towards your heels and just find a little gentle opening in the front of your hip flexors, but more so in our shoulders. One more breath. And bring your hands back towards your hips. Inhale them up over your heads and gently place them on the ground in front of you. As you're ready, I invite you to come up into a downward facing dog, pressing your thumb and first finger into the ground. Take a moment here, walk this dog out. Good. On your next inhale, lift through your right heel, keeping your hips parallel and square to the mat. And then bend your heel towards your glutes and open and stack your hips. So it might look different than what I'm doing, and that's totally okay. Wherever you're at is absolutely beautiful. But just finding a nice kind of gentle opening here throughout your hips. We'll take one more breath. Make your way back through center and come back down into your downward dog. Exhale here through your mouth. Sighing out. Inhale, extend through your left heel. Exhale, bring that heel towards your bum and stack your hips. There should be energy in your working little foot. So it's kind of easiest to maybe keep that foot flexed, but whatever is comfortable for you could be pointed. And again, breathing into that hip flexor, really opening through that left hip. Noticing if your shoulders are coming out of whack. And if you can, trying to keep them square towards the mat. But we're all just doing the best that we can. And make your way back through center. Inhale, come forward into a high plank. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale that. And exhale back. Downward dog. Nice little chaturanga push up there. Out of nowhere. Good job. Inhale, right leg. On your exhale, heel towards your glutes and open that hip. Stay exactly where you are. If you feel like you're open to trying something more, come to the fingertips of your right hand. And if you're able to maybe do even more, see if you can open those hips up. But wherever you're at, again, is perfect. Last breath wherever you are. And make your way back through center. Coming into that three-legged dog. And plant your foot down. Breath here. Exhale, this time flutter your lips. Kind of fun to do. And inhale, lifting through your left heel. Bring that heel towards your bum on your exhale. And stack your hips. Left over right. Remain here. Or perhaps play with coming towards the fingertips of your left hand. Perhaps here, flipping that dog. And lifting through your hips up towards the ceiling. Last breath here. And make your way back through center, three-legged dog. And place both feet down on the mat. Inhale forward. Exhale, chaturanga push-up. Come back to high plank. And downward dog. From here again, inhale your right leg up off the mat, keeping those hips square. Exhale, knee towards your nose. Inhale, find length. Extend behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extension, knee to nose. And plant that foot in between your hands in front of you. From right here, take your right hand and really press it into your right hip. Focus just on that front hip first. Now think about scissoring your hips, bringing your left hip towards your right, towards the front of your mat. Take one more breath. Put your hands back down in the center. And extend your right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. And downward facing. Exhale here. Inhale, lift and extend through your left heel. Exhale, right away, knee to nose. Lift and extend. Knee to nose. Extend through that left heel. Knee towards your nose. And plant that foot forward in between your hands. Take your left hand now. Bring it towards your left hip and really focus on pulling it backwards. Making sure your left knee is over your left ankle. Notice what that maybe feels like in the outer part of your glutes. All those little muscles there. And now think about scissoring that right hip forward. Last breath. Plant your hands back to three-legged. And downward facing dog. Lift and extend through your right heel. Bring it forward, plant your foot. Gently place your left knee down on the mat. Inhale your body forward. Exhale, extend through your front right leg. We'll do that twice more, moving with our breath. Inhale, coming forward. If you need to, you can roll up your mat so that there's a little bit more cushioning under your back knee. Exhale, extend through your hamstrings, send your body long, hinging from your hips. Last time, here, inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale, come into that lunge. I'm going to do a little jump switch here. Lots of fun. One more. Last one. Good. Gently place that knee down. Inhale forward. And exhale. Inhale your body forwards. Switching through the front of that right hip flexor. Again, just paying attention to your joints, making sure that they're stacked to keep them safe. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Coming forward, jump switch again. Jump. Jump. Paying attention quickly to your fingers. Tenting them really does offer a little more space for your body, but you want to make sure you're not pushing into them. You want to be mindful and protect your fingers. Plant your hands. Downward dog. We'll do a full vinyasa here. So inhale your body forwards. Exhale, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Upward facing dog. And downward facing. Good. Extend through your right heel. Bring your foot forward, plant it between your hands. Now from here in a full lunge, inhale forward. Exhale, pull that right hip back, extend through that right hamstring as much as you can. It may look different. If you have blocks at home or even a water bottle, this might be a time to be using your water bottle for stability or a block for stability to keep finding a little bit more depth and ease in the pose. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Take your foot here, just step it right back into downward dog. Right away, lift over to the other side. Inhale your body forwards. Lift through that heart. Exhale, pull that left hip back, scissor your right hip forward. Flex if you can through that front left foot. Inhale. Moving with breath. Last time here. And right back to downward dog. Inhale your right leg up. Plant it between your hands. Come down onto that back left knee. I'm going to turn and face you here. Come down into that back left knee. So you should kind of be on train tracks here. Bring both your hands to the inside of your right foot and walk your right foot out on your mat if you can. Stay here. Use your hands in whatever way serves you. You can also come down onto your elbows. Make a little pillow by stacking your hands. As long as you're not hunching into that. You want to maintain a nice length in your spine. And then if you're super Gumby, working towards perhaps bringing your hand underneath of your right leg, or pressing, resisting into your right leg and coming to the outside of your right foot. If you take this nice and slow with nice big breaths, you should, no matter where you're at in this pose and flexibility wise, you should be able to find some ease in this stretch. Or at least some sort of love-hate relationship, because there's so much that is being opened. 2 more breaths. Make your way back through center. Move your hands to either side of your front foot. And make your way back to downward dog. Lift and extend through your left heel. Bring it forwards, drop your back knee. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Again, stopping wherever you feel like you need today. Walk your left foot out. Hang out here. Come on down, make a little pillow. Or if you have that block, you can rest your head on that block. Again, on this side, you can bring that left arm also underneath of your left leg. Whatever is serving you today. Two more breaths wherever you're at. Making your way back through center. Hands on either side of your front leg. And back into downward dog. Tiptoe your feet up towards your hands. I'm going to turn back sideways on my mat. Up towards your hands. And then walk, heel toe your feet out towards the outside edges of your mat and come down into a nice yogi squat, malasana. So again, you could be using your block to sit on if you need to. Sometimes I like to use mine between my hands to find a little bit more resistance against my legs. Take 3 more breaths here. And come right down onto your buns. Now, it is me, so you can get away with doing some core work. Plus, a strong core allows us to protect and have safe hips. So, point your toes. If you need to, you can gently place your fingertips behind you. If you can, bring your feet up off the mat. And hands out. We're going to tap our toes 10 times each side. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Bring the soles of those feet together. And pull your bum back so you've made a nice little diamond between your legs. Take your hands. They can either come to your feet, and you can just extend on your inhale, hinging forward from your hips, and then find some release. Or you can take your hands underneath, in that space underneath your legs, and bring your body forwards again, hinging from your hips, trying not to round through your back. And then as you're ready, then your head can release. 5 breaths here. Coming up and rolling all the way down onto your backs, hugging your legs in tight. Maybe give your lower back a little massage. It always feels good. Cross your right leg over your left, thighs nice and tight, and knees nice and tight together. Either just give your body a hug here, or you can reach towards your feet if you can. And pull your feet, please, so you can see. And pull your feet forwards towards your body if you can. I'm hooking my fingers around my big toes. Two more breaths. From here, planting my left foot, taking my right leg to just above my left knee, threading the needle here. You can either grab onto your shin onto your hamstring, or just gently press against your right leg. Two more breaths. And then put your left foot back down on the mat and take your right leg. And you're going to tuck that foot towards your bum. And really find an opening on the top of your right hip flexor here. You can even take your hand and massage that out. 3 more breaths here. And bring your feet back to center. We'll do that same little set on the other side. So left leg crosses over right and hug your legs in towards your chest. If you can, reaching towards your feet if that's accessible. Trying to keep your lower back on the mat, so really breathing into your lower back, sending those sit bones long on your mat. 2 more breaths. Gently bring your right leg down towards the mat, right foot on the mat. Cross your left ankle above your right knee and either press into your inner thigh. Lift that foot up on the mat. Make sure you're flexing both feet to protect your joints. You can reach for your hamstring or your shin. Noticing that your right knee is coming towards your right shoulder. It's not crossing into the center of your body. Extending long as you breathe in. Finding more depth as you breathe out. 2 more breaths. And then plant that right foot down. Bring your inner left thigh towards the mat. And take 5 breaths here. Could feel a little awkward, but just play around with it. See what's comfortable. And massage, if you can, into that left hip flexor, or just send your breath there. 3 more breaths, and then we'll come into our last pose. I'll give you 2 options. Back through center. So you may remain on your back and just open into a reclined cobbler's pose or butterfly pose here, Supta Baddha Konasana. Or I really encourage you to take a frog pose. Some of us love it more than others, and that's totally fine. You may, if you have a mat, may want to roll it up just to protect your knees. But you're sending from here. Plant your hands right underneath your shoulders. And then you're slowly just going to send your knees wide. Your shins are going to be parallel to one another. And your knees and ankles are going to be stacked. Flexing your feet. And then you're finding an opening in all of those little muscles in your inner thighs. Bringing your body forwards and taking at least 5 breaths here if you're choosing this pose. Especially if you're flexing, noticing if you're kind of cheating into it. So really sending those hips back. Trying to allow gravity to take over. If nothing's actually pinching and painful, it's just a nice deep stretch, then just embrace that. Let those deep muscle tissues begin to release. Nothing is permanent. 2 more breaths. last breath here. You might want to come forward in order to come out, but whatever works for you. I hope that was a nice little bit of hip opening, working your legs and your hips, and thank you for joining me. See you in the next one.